Here is a text reveal behind me moving. I'm going to show you a few ways to do this. This was shot on a green screen. I'm going to solo the layer by clicking the solo button right there. And then I'm going to show you the alpha by clicking the show transparency. And as you can see, where I am, there is fill here. And then the space around me is the alpha. There's nothing there. So I'm going to unsolo that layer. And now I can see my full composition again. This layer is the footage of me. And beneath it, I have the type that I want to reveal. All I had to do in my layer stack, this layer is the footage of me with the green screen removed. And this is the type beneath me that I want to reveal as my body is turning and moving. So I just simply put what I want to use as the mask above, which is my alpha matte footage of me with my type beneath it. And I just choose in my track matte, alpha invert. And what this is going to do is it's going to ignore the filled in shape of me. And anywhere you don't have this footage, anywhere there's nothing, where you see this checkerboard, that's what's going to be revealed. And wherever there's something filled in, it'll be invisible. So that's why I have the alpha matte above me, type below, and I chose alpha invert. You see as I turn my body, it'll reveal the text. Now here's the quick problem with this. You see I trimmed this layer. The reason I did that, I'm going to drag it out, is you can see the type when I don't want it to appear. So all I did was I just moved my playhead until I was fully covering the text and I want it to appear. And you could do one of two things. You could just drag the layer head here. Once you see a double playhead at the end of the layer clip, you can drag it and trim where the layer begins. That's one way of doing it. The more precise way of doing it is to hold down Alt or Option and hit the bracket next to the letter P. And that will trim the layer to start exactly where the playhead is. So now it'll perfectly reveal and not be there when I don't want it to. That's the first way of doing this. The second way of doing this would be I'm going to undo my alpha invert matte. So you can see there's my type. I'm going to drag this all the way out. So I've undone what I had before. Again, wait for the copy to be fully revealed, and I'm going to trim it there by holding down Option or Alt and hitting the bracket next to the letter P. I'm going to turn off my blending mode for this, so I'm fully covering it. So if I only want to see the text from this point on, one thing I can do is mask it. It's not moving, but if it were moving, I would need to pre-compose it before masking it. So I can draw a mask on this side if I want. I'll choose Add for the mask mode. Now I have to wait for myself to be fully covered. And again, I hold down Alt or Option and click the bracket next to the P to trim it. So you don't see it there, but now you do see it. That's one way with the mask. I'm going to delete my mask. Another way you could do this is I'm going to keep it trimmed to where I want it. And I can draw a shape layer. Make sure nothing is selected. And I can either put it over here where I don't want it. I'll put that above my type. And for that, I would choose alpha invert on my type layer. So it's going to mask out everything that would be over here and reveal everything that's over there. Now, if I want to do the opposite of this, I'm going to turn this back on, remove that, and use the shape layer where the text is. Then I could use it as an alpha matte on the type layer. So this is useful if the text is moving around. And again, if you've got a solid background, you could use the exact same color of the solid to mask the text or hide it in certain parts with the same technique if the type is moving around. So I'll give an example of that. So instead of the texture in the background, I'm going to create a new solid, put it at the bottom. So I've got my hot pink. Here's my footage of me. I'm going to remove my shape layer and start over. And here's my text. I'm going to keep it as is. Let's pretend there's some motion to my type. Start here. So I'm going to hit the P key for my position. Let's just say it starts here. It's going to move to over here. What I can do, since I've got a solid color background, is use my pen tool. I'm going to get rid of my stroke. By clicking the word stroke, I can pull up the remove option. Same as clicking the word fill, I can add a solid fill. And then I click on the color and the eyedropper to get the color that I want for my shape layer I'm going to draw. So I'm just going to roughly start my shape. I can draw the shape over on this side. So what this will do, I'm going to put the shape below me. I'm going to put my type below that shape. So it's the alpha matte of me, the shape that I just drew, and my type. So let's see what happens with that. So you can see the text poking through. So I'm just going to move that shape over a little bit more. Now let's see what happens. Now, even with the type moving, it's revealing the way I want because I have this shape that's the same exact color as the background. I'm going to change this to blue just so you can see what I mean, this is masking out this part of the screen so that I can hide the type.